Hello friends, welcome to iExamB. I'm Satakshi and I'm your English faculty at iExamB, and in this video we will discuss your reading comprehension part 2. Part 1 we already discussed yesterday. If you have not watched that video, please watch that, because this part contains the remaining set of questions on a reading comprehension which I discussed yesterday. I discussed 3 questions in that video, and now this is part 2, remaining 3 questions. So before we start, let me tell you, some of the questions on reading comprehension are based on your critical reasoning, as in you have to think a little, you have to analyze what has been written, and then you have to interpret what this means. So questions based on assumptions, interpretations, right? So these kind of questions are also asked in the exams, right? So assumptions, inference, course of action, right? So make sure that you know what are the kinds of questions, or what is the correct answer in such kind of questions, how to approach, right? So and you will also see that the passage is not that difficult, but the questions and the options make it difficult, and the options are confusing, then also the question becomes difficult to answer, right? So let's move ahead. This is the passage. I will give you a gist. It actually talks about the new education policy and how one institute has asked the parents the students to repeat a class because their age is not in alignment with the new education policy. They say, according to the new education policy, the students entering to class 1 should be 6 years old at least, right? So those students who are falling short even by a day will not be sent to class 1. They will have to repeat a class. Now this is what the institute had said, but the government is saying that there is no necessity of repetition of a class. The students can skip that class. No need to repeat it again if they've already done it. The students can enroll again in the eligible year, not the current year, right? So this is the tussle going on between actually it's not a tussle. The parents are sad and they are worried that their child will have to now repeat a class or will not be admitted to the class of their desire. And also students may feel biased because of because of the fact that their peers have reached to the first standard but they haven't. They will have to repeat KG. So things like that. And the school, the parents are blaming the school is blaming the government. This is what is happening, but there is no conclusion as in the favor of parents yet. The school is still demanding that yes, the school will follow the government orders, which is admitting the student to class 1 only if the child is 6 years old. Okay, so this is the gist of this passage. Now the questions, these 3 we have discussed. This and this we have already discussed in part 1. So please see part 1 first if you want to get a deeper understanding of the passage, and also if you want to understand these questions. Now the next one is this: why are some parents worried about the school's decision to enforce age restrictions for grade level placement, right? So why are the parents worried? Actually this says because of the government's provision of relaxation for certain batches for the next couple of years. Now because the government had brought this rule midterm, now the government has decided that this rule will not be imposed right now but after 2025, right? So this is a relaxation provided by the government for the current batches, but then this relaxation should not be a case of worry for the parents, right? So this is true according to the passage, but this is not the answer to the question asked, right? So your answer should not have A. Alright, so see, all these are discarded, only B and C. You are left with only 3. Okay, so both B and C. Now let's see. It says they think that it is too expensive to pay for pre-KG again if their child is required to repeat the year. And C says they believe that it is unfair to make children repeat a year due to a few days or weeks difference in age. Or fine, part B and C we can find here. It says parents feel that it is a waste of a whole academic year and the fees they have paid. Part C, making them repeat just because they fall short a few days or weeks does not make much sense as per few parents, right? So both the parts B and C we have found in the passage as it is written here. So our answer is B and C. We have verified. So we will mark option 3 as our answer. It is verified. Okay. The next question says the institution does not consider any other factors apart from age for admission to class 1, right? So this is a statement and we have to see if it is definitely true, probably true, definitely false, probably false, and cannot be determined. Right. So now, firstly, we all know in these kind of questions, we can only use the information given in the passage, no outside information apart from the universal facts. Okay, there are some universal facts. If it was written here that sun rises in the east, we will use that fact, right? So we have to consider a few things and then decide that whether it will be on the lines of probably or not, right? So if a statement is inclined towards falsehood, this somewhat here will be the answer. If it is inclined towards truth, then this will be the answer, right? So see, we know that many students, hundreds of students apply for one class, right, in one particular school, right? So and only few get selected. So if 600 have applied here, right, then only 200 are getting selected. This does not mean the remaining 400 who were not selected were only left out because of age, right? So when they say that the institute does not consider any other factor apart from age, this cannot be considered a true statement, firstly, because yes, we know that there may be some other factors also, because it is a universal fact that many students apply but only few get selected, right? So there may be some entrance exam, there may be some criteria of alumni or anything, but it cannot be just age. Okay, so yes, the school considers some other factors also. We don't know what is that factor, but some other factors may also be considered, right? So this is actually inclined towards falsehood, right? So there is no truth here, so these two cannot be the answer. It is inclined towards falsehood, but this exactly the opposite of this is not written in the passage, right? So it is probably false, right? If the question had, if this statement had that the institution also considered the alumni factor apart from age for admission to class 1, then that would be cannot be determined, right? Because we don't know that if they consider that or not. But does not consider any other factor is inclining towards falsehood, but the opposite of this has not been exactly mentioned in the passage. Hence we will say the statement is probably false. All right, so option 4 is the answer in this case. All right, if you were not able to understand, repeat this video, repeat that section again, listen again, and then you will reach to an understanding that how we reach to option 4 as an answer, right? So let's move on. Next one, which of the following assumptions follows for the statement? The rules say that to get admission to class 1, students have to be of 6 years, and hence any student who falls short of the age is being asked to repeat a grade, right? Now, assumptions, inference and statement, right? We should understand the relation between these three, right? Firstly, assumptions are made before making the statement. If I am speaking, right, I am making some statement, I'm speaking, I'm assuming that you can listen to me, right? And that is why I'm speaking. And the inference would be, if you know, then I will if I make a statement and then if I ask you some questions, you will answer. I will infer whether you have understood what I explained or not, right? So first assumption will come, then the statement, and then the inference, right? So here assumption, we have to see that what assumption was made, what was presumed while making this statement, right? So A says attending a class twice is acceptable as per school norms. Now here, when the school is asking the students to repeat a grade, so it is very obvious that it is assumed that it is acceptable as per school norms. All right, so yes, this should be a part of our answer. This and this cannot be our answer, right? Now B says students who are too young for class 1 may not be developmentally ready to succeed in the class. Now see, the word here may not, may, words like these are of very high importance in these kind of questions. May actually leaves a cloud or an ambiguity, or maybe it leaves some area where you can take your own decisions, right? So there is a possibility that yes, this rule has come up, or this statement was made keeping in mind that the students for class 1, who are too young to attend this class, may not be developmentally ready biologically to succeed in the class, right? And that is why this rule has been made. Okay, so yes, this is also an assumption that follows. Okay, now this says the institution has a clear set of rules for admission to all particular classes. So has this been mentioned anywhere in this statement? Nothing about all particular classes has been said in this statement. So this cannot be an assumption, right? This statement only talks about class 1. Okay, so all particular classes is not the correct answer, because this assumption is not required to be made before making this statement, right? So C should not be the answer, only A and B, option 1. All right, so this is how we proceed and solve these questions. In the description box below, I have given one bonus question of course of action, right? So please refer to that and see the question. Also join our Telegram channel. I will link it in the description box, and I will post the solution on our Telegram channel as well, right? This is all for the video, friends. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to our channel, and please press the bell icon if you already haven't, to receive the updates of the videos we bring for you.